Hi, this is Lena Shea and Iowa Mom, and I've got my red on because Valentine's Day is approaching. Now before you turn me off, I remember back when I was teaching in elementary school and the kids would get so excited to make their little boxes, and they got Valentines from everybody in the class. It wasn't reserved to just sweethearts. It was kind of a day when everybody said nice things to other people. I thought I'd show you a way to make an edible Valentine, and it's using an old classic Rice Krispie bars. We're going to be using 1/4 of a cup of butter, and you could use margarine. You just split one in half here. Now we're going to put it on low temperature because we don't want this to burn. I'm going to get everything else ready. I put some parchment paper on a cutting board here because when I put the hot pan on here, I don't want it to damage my countertop. And we're going to use Rice Krispies cereal, something like Rice Krispies. Okay, it is melting, and since we have it on a low temperature, it's less likely to burn, but you still have to watch it because it can burn just real quick. I'm going to go ahead and dump the marshmallows in on top of that. Once we dump this in the pan, we want to stir it and really watch it. At this point, I'm going to be stirring this pretty much the whole well worth it. You don't want to burn your sugar syrup. Okay, now it's so close. There's a few little lumpies in there. I'm going to take that off of the heat, dump in my Rice Krispies. So you just stir it until it's all combined. Let's dump this out on the parchment. Now usually if you're making Rice Krispie treats, you would put this in a pan and then let it cool and then cut it later. We're going to be doing something a little bit different with it, so this has to be hot to do what we're going to do next. Put a little oil on my clean hands, and whenever you're cooking, you always want to wash your hands ahead of time. You're going to need a little bit of oil to keep it from sticking to your hands, and we're pressing this out. To make these little valentines, I want it thinner, so I'm getting it spread out as much as it'll let me spread it out. And you can see it's not terribly thick. You probably remember doing this in school. You take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and then you make a half of a heart on this fold. And you want to make this part where it's going to hold together. And then just cut out a half of a heart down to the little point. And we open it up, and we've got a heart. And if you like the way it looks, great. If you don't, you can trim those down. Now I've got a little butter on this knife already, but you could oil it up. This is the knife I use to cut the butter with. And then just cut around it. Make sure you have a cutting board underneath. When I take my paper off, press those little edges in, make a really nice crispy heart. Get it real close to where you cut before. If the knife starts to stick, you can always oil it up again. We got a bunch of little pieces left over, so you can just take the little scraps and push them together, and then turn them over, and then push them together some more. All right, now we're going to cut a heart from the pieces. My paper is starting to get sticky, so I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I am going to fold it, and putting my old shape on here, and using that for a pattern. Or, so I decided it would be kind of fun to have a variety of sizes, making a smaller one, so I could have different sizes for a pattern.
A crispy heart would make a nice Valentine, but why not decorate them? That'd be a lot more fun. So I melted a half bag of chocolate almond bark in the microwave for about a minute, stirred it, and then another minute.
Let's try using some of the almond bark. I'm just going to dip into that with a knife and just smear that right on top, and this will harden up and make kind of a candy topping. And this is probably the easiest way to handle the decorating of these. And what I'm going to do is take a big spoonful of this, put it into a snack bag here, and I will zipper it shut, otherwise it tends to run out on you. And then I'm going to squeeze it clear down in the corner. We're just going to take a little bit of the tip off with the scissors, not too much because you don't want it too thick. kind of like a cake decorating tool. It's kind of fun to do. Okay, my cherry chips started getting hard, so I just stick the whole bag back into the microwave, kind of freshens that up again. I'm going to make this one with a little outline. Let's just see how that looks. And I'm turning the heart while I'm squeezing. It seems like that works pretty good. We're not going for perfection looking like you had a factory do it. This way they can tell it was made with love. Once you have the chocolate dry, you can put a little cherry on top of the chocolate. Ooh, that looks pretty neat. So having them all a little different also gives it variety and makes it kind of fun.
Okay, how are we going to give these to people? Well, one idea is to put them in a large baggie. Another idea is to use a gift box.
And I'm using tissue paper to line it with. I'm just measuring that. And then I'm just going to center it in the box. I'm going to use some parchment paper. I found this at Dollar Tree. So I'm going to just put that at the bottom. If you put it right on the tissue paper, it might stick. Now after we get our treats in here, we can just cover that with a little piece of plastic wrap and then cover that, encase that in the tissue and put the lid on top. This is for my grandkids, and when they open it, I hope they're going to be excited. This is Lena Shea and Iowa Mom. Thanks for watching.